Let's hope New Mexico State can get 7 wins. Why not? Let's go for it. Greetings and salutations, and welcome to the Odd Coaches Podcast. I am your host, Dr. Keith Adams, and I am rolling solo today, doing my best Stephen A. Smith or Joey Styles imitation as I preview the Group of Five. So on today's college football preseason preview, we're going to preview the Group of Five teams in preparation for the 2023 college football season. In segment one, I will give you my initial thoughts on Conference USA, Mid-American Conference and the Mountain West Conference, and the Sun Belt Conference. In segment two, I will give my thoughts on the major storylines headed into the season. And in segment three, I'll make some predictions strictly for entertainment purposes only. But let's talk about the Group of Five. The American Athletic Conference is a member of the Group of Five, and we did their preview along with HBCUs. It was important for me to make sure HBCUs got included. Then you have Conference USA. You have the Mid-American Conference, you have the Mountain West Conference, and you have the Sun Belt Conference, or dare I say the conferences my partner won't watch. So we did the American on a separate show. So let me introduce you to Conference USA. Gonna do the over-unders. Teams that I care about, I'll spend a little more time on than teams I don't. Liberty, 8.5, had a coaching change. I think he came from Coastal Carolina, one of my dream schools, because I love Myrtle Beach, got married there. I don't think so. Western Kentucky, I think they're pretty good, and keep an eye on Western Kentucky. That's 8.5. Middle Tennessee, 6.5. No feelings either way. New Mexico State, shout out to Robert Abney, my main man. Let's hope New Mexico State can get 7 wins. Why not? Let's go for it. Louisiana Tech, 5.5. No thoughts. UTEP, University of Texas, El Paso. Jacksonville State, 4.5. UTEP was 5.5. Sam Houston, 3.5. And Florida International, 3.5. You guys are setting up talent for fattening up frogs for snakes, so to speak. Mid-America Conference, Toledo, 8.5. They're good. Keep an eye on Toledo. Ohio is 7.5. Of course, Tuesday Maction will take place, so you can make a couple of coins if you pay attention to Maction. Eastern Michigan, one of the directional Michigan schools, if you will, 7.5. Miami out of Ohio is 6.5. Buffalo is 6.5. Northern Illinois, NIU is 5.5. Central Michigan's 5.5. Ball State, 5.5. Again, Toledo, outside of them, kind of good luck to you. So in segment two, we're going to go Mountain West Conference, and we're going to go Sun Belt Conference. And then in segment three, we'll go big questions and predictions for everybody. So a little audible call, but we're going to get through everybody. We'll be right back on the Odd Coaches Podcast.
The high school and college academic and athletic landscape is changing. The growing number of college transfers, as well as student athletes being able to profit off the use of their name, image, and likeness, has given student athletes the freedom and power to make life-changing decisions. That is why it is important for student athletes to be properly informed throughout the decision-making process. The difference between success and failure is often measured not by yards, but by inches, and even the most successful coaches and players use outside independent consultants to help improve their decision-making, which improves their results. That is what the CKA Save Project would like to do for student athletes across the country, improve their academic and athletic results. Our academic and athletic consulting services assist student athletes with the college decision-making process. The CKA team of former high school and college coaches can provide student athletes an independent assessment of their academic and athletic skills to assist student athletes in their college decision-making process. Let the CKA team evaluate your academic and athletic ability to assist you in finding the right fit for your academic and athletic career. For more information, visit us on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org or schedule a free virtual consultation with Dr. Keith Adams by email and CKA at ckasaveproject.org.
Welcome back to the Odd Coaches Podcast. It's segment 2. Want to introduce you to the Mountain West Conference. And yes, San Diego State is still in the Mountain West Conference, despite their a little dalliance, or so they thought, with the Pac-12. So let's get after it. Air Force, 8.5. They're good. I may take the over. Shout out to VTK, my main man in the Air Force. Fresno State's 8.5. They're good. I like Fresno State. They got a shot at it. Boise State's always good. I'm still kind of salty about the end of their season last year, so I don't know if I can trust them. San Diego State is 6.5, and I kind of think some of the whistles and the flags are not going to go their way this year. Wyoming is 6.5. Doesn't matter. Utah State's 5.5. Doesn't matter. San Jose State's 5.5. Doesn't matter. UNLV is 5.5. Shout out to Jason Frank and all of the former Rebels, but you're 5.5. Can't see it. So let's move on to the Sun Belt Conference. Troy is 8.5. They're good. James Madison is 8.5. They're very good. And they got screwed with the bowl thing because they're transitioning from SCS to FBS. Just keep winning, Dukes. Just keep winning. Coastal Carolina may take a step back with the coaching change, but it's one of my favorite jobs in the country. South Alabama is 7.5. Louisiana is 7.5. Marshall is 7.5. You see the parity in the Sun Belt Conference. App State, who I saw at the University of North Carolina conference, Prospect Day when I was down there with 0.5, they're 6.5. Georgia Southern, 6.5. And Georgia State is 5.5. So we have gone through the Conference USA, Mid-American Conference, Mountain West, and Sun Belt. So in segment 3, we're going to give you some predictions, strictly for entertainment purposes only, on the Odd Coaches Podcast.
The reviews are in for Dr. Keith Adams' book, Finding the Balance, My Personal Journey to Academic and Athletic Success. College professor and student-athlete academic expert Dr. Lisa Rubin said, "There is nothing out there like this book, so I do hope people will pay attention and give it a read." Former George Mason standout Folarin Campbell said, "Consider this book an opportunity to work directly with Dr. Adams, just like I did. I assure you that there will be something you can take away that will be useful to you throughout your personal journey." Ryan Waite, a recent college graduate who is a software engineer, said, "I like how the book is based on research, which makes it good for general students as well as student athletes." The book serves as both a memoir to Dr. Adams' 30-year academic and athletic career, as well as an instructional guide to assist student athletes, parents, coaches, teachers, and administrators navigate through the challenges of finding a better balance between academic and athletic success. The book includes over 15 personal stories and anecdotes from Dr. Adams, along with numerous former players and colleagues from a variety of sports and endeavors. You can order your copy at www.ckasaveproject.org. From the main page, simply click CKA Save Project Services and order the Find the Balance book. For more information, contact Dr. Keith Adams by email at cka@ckasaveproject.org.
Welcome back to the Odd Coaches Podcast preview of the Group of 5. And in segment 3, got some big questions. So let's hit it. Most likely to upset a Power 5 school during the regular season? Fresno State plays Purdue and they play Arizona State. I got to think they're going to get one, if not two. I really do think Fresno State's a pretty good darn team. Boise State plays Washington. They got Washington ranked pretty high. And check out our Pac-12 preview if you want to know my thoughts on Washington. But Boise State, they always got something up their sleeve. So check that line that week when it comes up. Troy versus K-State. Kansas State's going to be pretty good, but I'm going to take a look at the spread that week just to see if I can make a buck or two. And then I'm probably going to take this one outright. James Madison travels to Charlottesville to play UVA, and I think James Madison might just win that one outright. That might be a money line game for me. So we'll see. So who's going bowling with these group of five teams? These are the bowl games that you tend not to watch, but I tended to make a little bit of money on because I paid attention. So I'm sure a couple of coworkers will call me when the chart comes out. But let's get after it. Liberty's going bowling. Western Kentucky, Middle Tennessee State, New Mexico State. Yes, Robert, New Mexico State will go bowling. Toledo, Ohio, Eastern Michigan, Miami University, Buffalo, Air Force, Fresno State, Boise State, San Diego State, Wyoming, Troy. James Madison, I don't think they can go bowling for like one more year. They got to change that rule. Coastal Carolina, South Alabama, Louisiana, Marshall, Appalachian State, and Georgia Southern. Which teams will be ranked this year from the group of five? Fresno State, James Madison, and Western Kentucky. Who will be the conference winners? Conference USA, I got Western Kentucky. Mid-American Conference, I've got Toledo. Mountain West, I have Fresno State. And in the Sun Belt, go Dukes. I got James Madison. Will any of these teams play in the Cotton Bowl? The highest ranked group of five team plays in the Cotton Bowl. I think that team's going to come out of the American Conference, so none of these teams will be playing in the Cotton Bowl. And final thoughts. These are the teams that are the curtain jerkers and the popcorn matches for those of you who are in the wrestling terminology. If you pay attention, you can win a little money during bowl season, but for the most part, they're going to be the fodder that gets eaten up by the big conferences. So, on behalf of our Cavalcade of Stars, I'm Dr. Keith Adams saying thank you for listening and or watching this Group of Five preview, and we will see you on the sidelines. Till next time, take care.
The Odd Coaches podcast is sponsored by the CKA Save Project. The CKA Save Project is an industry leader in providing student-athlete academic and athletic support. From assessing student-athletes' academic and athletic skills, to measuring and monitoring student-athlete academic progress, to improving student-athlete time management and organizational skills, the CKA Save Project provides wraparound services for student-athletes from middle school through college. For more information, visit us on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org or schedule a free consultation with Dr. Keith Adams by emailing cka@ckasaveproject.org. We hope you enjoyed today's show. The Odd Coaches podcast drops new episodes every Tuesday through Friday on most weeks. Make sure you subscribe to the Odd Coaches podcast on Apple Music, iHeartRadio, Podbean, Spotify, and YouTube. Follow the Odd Coaches podcast on Twitter and Instagram at Odd Coaches. Follow Dr. Adams on Twitter and Instagram at CKA Save Project. In addition, follow Coach Mike Francis on Twitter and Instagram at Coach Franchise, spelled Coach Franchize. For more information about the CKA Save Project, please visit them on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org. See you next time on the Odd Coaches podcast.